Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. If you're brand new here, please do hit that subscribe button down below and also give the video a little thumbs up as well. Today we are buzzing around the Himalayas in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you might notice it looks a little bit different, and that is because we've got the new Orbx Himalaya mesh for Microsoft Flight Simulator that's just been released on the 16th of November, so today, the date of recording. I've been trying to get around to recording this video for the last week actually now, but my schedule's been quite packed, so I do apologise for not being able to bring it to you ASAP. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. So the install itself is around about 20 gigabytes in size, 19.9 gig for the download via Orbx. So at the moment we're flying around the Himalayas near to Mount Everest, in fact. And I wanted to head to this part of the region because of how mountainous and rocky, and people that actually climb around there, the videos that we might have seen, frankly quite dangerous as well. So big cliff edges, lots of mountains, and quite a good depth of range to go and explore this new scenery add-on pack within, basically. And as you can see at the moment, I think it looks absolutely stunning. I'm sure you guys will agree. They put a great deal of effort into this. It's 15 Australian dollars, or 16 Australian dollars roundabouts, so call it a tenner for those of us in the UK. Really good value for money. 20 gig of data. Now, very similar to the other Orbx mesh products from Microsoft Flight Simulator, the product is 100% self-contained, so they've not changed any of the default mesh or anything else, and I've noticed no performance impact at the moment myself, to be honest. Bearing in mind it's 20 gigabytes of data, or for a file size, and the region itself, I mean, look how complex that looks down below there. That is absolutely breathtaking. And in the valleys as well, everything looks sharp, it looks crisp, really nicely detailed, and seamless changes between each of the different sections that they've rendered in here as well. So we've got the alpine glaciers, the jagged peaks, and of course the Himalayas, home to some of the highest mountains in the world, including Mount Everest. It's down to 10-meter resolution, derived from 3 real-world sources. And it covers pretty much the entire Himalaya region, so there is lots and lots to explore. Whether you guys like to fly VFR, down low, through the valleys, around the mountains, or in fact, if you like to head up to the upper flight levels in the airliners, you're definitely going to enjoy this. And it's going to make for some brilliant and incredibly scenic approaches into airports like Kathmandu and Paro. Heading away from the snow-capped mountains around Everest, we can see that even the sort of landscapes without snow-capped textures are absolutely stunning. Really detailed off into the distance as well, so we can pick out actually all of the different ridges through the mountain range off into the distance. And yeah, you know what, this is absolutely brilliant. And you can see here as well how fantastic it all looks down below, even without all the snow. So currently we're going to head into Paro, and I've configured for the Arnav Yankee runway 33 approach. Infamous airport runway, handcrafted by Sobo as well, for the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator over a year ago now. Wow. And tricky approach. Everybody knows it's a very difficult approach, renowned worldwide, and it also sits within the Himalayas. So if we're going to go for this Orbx mesh, there is no better place to test this. Paro, Kathmandu, even a trip into Lukla, yeah, it's a really good test for this. We're going to see as we go through the valley into Paro how the Orbx mesh looks and interacts with the world around us in Microsoft Flight Simulator from a really close-up point of view as well. So I hope you guys find this comparison and this sort of test flight, if you like, really useful. And if indeed you've got the Orbx mesh, and you've got some great routes that you want to share with everybody in the community, pop them down in the comments down below as well. Okay, so heading in ever closer to Paro, we are now inside the star itself, and we're about to commence our RNAV Yankee approach runway 33. The closer we're getting, the more stunning it gets, so look at that for a landscape as well. That window view would be brilliant in real life, and those of you with virtual reality headsets, I'd imagine you'd be blown away with this as well. On my screen as it is at the minute, it looks absolutely stunning, so I can only imagine what virtual reality would look like. I mean, look at that. Always nice to enjoy the scenery before all the chaos of a Paro approach. Fingers crossed it goes well. One thing I really like about this is the fact that you've got the snow-capped mountains around Everest and all the different parts of the region. So you've also got these sort of stone-capped mountains as well, all around Paro, which we're going to be flying through shortly. But all the edges, I mean, even the mountain off in the distance over there, the edges look really sharp and really well made. Of course, 10 meters is a really good resolution for this, so we can expect fantastic scenery. There's another quite spectacular view of the landscape down below. We're into the actual approach now, the RNAV procedure into runway 33 at Paro. Huge area to go and explore as well, and there's lots to go and see. There's some beautiful, the screenshots on their website actually for the product page, there are some absolutely stunning looking landscapes, mountain lakes and all that sort of thing to go and explore and find as well, so there is a lot to see for this, and for £10 that's exceptionally good value in my mind. There comes the sweeping sharp left turn coming up as well. We're in managed descent, so we respect all the constraints as we descend along the path down to minimums. I hope you guys are enjoying this, finding this useful. I think it's quite important to show the landscape from a flight deck kind of view as well for takeoff or landing. So we're going landing into Paro. Can't think of anything better. So I hope you guys appreciate the idea behind the review, because it is beautiful at the best of times. 12400 is coming up, Papa Romeo 734. There's the managed descent constraint, so the aircraft's going to tackle that. In fact, it looks like we're hitting that bang on. Then we'll continue down a little bit further. Max 145 for the next constraint. We're already at that anyway because we've got flaps 2 deployed. We've got a couple of miles to go. The sweeping left turn before we take over. That looks really cool. Sweeping left through this valley here, and we're going to head round into Paro. But look at the distance of the horizon. All the detail rendered in there is spectacular. I've said that word a lot today. Using the flight recorder mod as well, I'm hoping I can get a couple of replays of this from a different angle so you guys can see what it looks like from the outside as well, looking towards the aircraft. perhaps even from a wing view. That is stunning.
Above.
Okay, minimums continue. We're in flight path angle now and vertical speed mode, so we're going for a 3% rate of descent.
2,500.
And we're going to slow down for final approach. This is spectacular. Look at that. Through the window. That is really nice. Off over there into the distance too. The aircraft makes its final turn before we turn the autopilot off.
2,500.
Paro's just coming up there into the distance, so. Set our missed approach, 16,000. Full flaps, gear down, and landing Ecam Emotion Blue. Probably come off here a little bit. Turn the flight director off on 3 degrees. Round about there. There's the runway. Oh, the landscape's brilliant. I'm going to follow the river, use that as a bit of a reference point.
1,000. 500. 500. 400. 40, 30, 20, retard.
And reverse green. Oversensitive rudder pedals. Look at that in the distance. That mountain range up there is beautiful. And all around us as well over here at Paro. A couple of wing views then as we make our way around for that final approach, using the flight recorder mod for a bit of replay action. There's the landscape off into the distance as well. And in fact, Paro just on the left of the screen. Overall view from the airfield then, you can see us coming in just off in the distance there in the valley. And the landscape around the airfield looks brilliant. Really very nice. And this is where the mesh can really come into its own. Those airport environments and the surroundings around it, that is what makes this brilliant. For this point, of course, our autopilot was off and I was flying this manually down the river. Profile doesn't look too bad there, actually, I've got to say. It's always a bit of a sporty arrival here. It's what makes it quite fun. Oh, look at that. Lovely and smooth. There goes the spoilers deflecting as well. And off into the distance. Look at that for a view. Here comes that sweeping left turn. Look at that valley. Spectacular. You have to excuse the spoilers there, they seem to have been stuck a little bit with the flight recorder mod, but you get the gist of the scenery. That's silky smooth touchdown as well, I'm sure you'll agree. Not one to big myself up, of course. There we go, look at the landscape. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. Longer than I anticipated, but I really wanted to emphasise how good this was with an approach into Paro, with the scenery as fantastic as it is here. Make sure you hit subscribe down below and give the video a little thumbs up before you head off as well. And as always, share your thoughts in the comments below. Is there anything particularly nice about it that you really love? If you've already got the pack, anything you found that might be a bit of a buggy problem, do share it with the community down below, especially those routes that I mentioned a little earlier on as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you join me for a live stream in the near future. Take care.